So I have created a new scene, which is main menu, excuse me. And here we are going to set up our main menu. For that, we are going to create an image. And again, for the canvas, we are going to set it to screen space camera. Attach our main camera right here. Set the scale with screen size and our reference resolution. So 480 by 800 and 0.5 in order to scale to match width and height equally. This is going to be our background image, so I'm going to position it 0, 0, and this is going to be background image. And here I'm going to choose, well, let's say our main menu BG and set the native size. We also need to go in our sprites and take our buttons. And here I'm also going to override them. So let's say it's 1024, true color, hit apply, and also set it to multiple for the sprite mode. And here we can open our sprite editor, and I'm going to slice our sprites. And I'm going to rename it. This is going to be our play button. So let me just type it right. So play button like this. And I'm going to copy this one. And this is going to be our ladder boards. And here I'm going to pass also our button. This is going to be our rate button. And this is going to be our share button. And I'll simply hit apply. And here I'm going to add our buttons. So I'm going to go under game object, button, and remove the text that's by default in the button. This is going to be our play button. So play button, and I'm going to set it up here. And I'm going to, well, search for the play button and set the native size. And we can resize it a little bit because we see that it's large. We can resize it to something like this or however you like. And I'm going to copy this button, position it here, and this is going to be our ladder boards button. And copy our play button again, position it here. This is going to be our share button, and copy the share button and position it right here. I'm going to use the X position of our ladder boards and position it here, and this is going to be our rate button. So here I'm going to search for the ladder boards to change the image. Here I'm going to search for the share button to change the image, and here for the rate button to change the image. So now if we run the game, we have 4 buttons which we can, well, interact, or with which we can interact. And practically what we are going to do, so here we are going to create, well, a main menu controller. So in our scripts, here I'm going to go folder, and this is going to be main menu controller. And inside of it, I'm going to create a main menu controller script. So main menu controller. And here create an empty game object. Position it at 0, 0, which is not important, but that's my habit. And this is going to be main menu controller. And simply attach this script to it. And here I'm simply going to program only one function. This is going to be a public void play game. And here I'm going to say application.loadLevel, and we need to pass the name of the level that we want to load. That's practically the scene that we want to load. So we go here in the scenes, we have our gameplay scene. So here we can pass our gameplay scene as a string. But in order for this to work, we need to go under File and then Build Settings. And when we are in a scene, we need to click on this Add Current. So here we added our main menu, and if I go in the gameplay and click on Add Current, I have added that scene. Now we see that we have these numbers here, and the scene that has this 0 number is this first scene that's going to be loaded. And all of the scenes that are added here in the build, we can navigate, well, to that scene. If we don't do that, if we don't add our gameplay here in the build, then we cannot use this application load level gameplay, then we cannot, well, load that level. And as I said, all of the scenes that are added here in the build can be, well, accessed and played when we, well, click on a button. So we can go to that scene practically. Now what we can do is we can take our play button, and we need to attach our main menu controller, and we need to select the script, which is our main menu controller script, and our play game function, which is, well, this function right here. And if I run the game now, if we hit the play button, we go to our gameplay in order to play the game. You can also add here a back button in order to go back to our main menu, or however you like. You can simply then use that button or create a function, and instead of using load level gameplay, you can, well, load level main menu, and this will take you back. Now I'm not going to program our leaderboards, share or rate button because I'm not going to implement that. I just provided these buttons to you so that you can experiment, because I explain all of these things in my other course, how can you implement the leaderboards, so on and so forth. So I'm not going to go into detail here in this course. Practically we are done with our main menu, and the last thing that's left for us to do is add a score.